Hello, okay, so today I'm going to introduce a new video series that I just actually that I just thought of, and essentially it's going to be something like a movie vlog. And so what I'll do, or what I'll attempt to be doing, is every Sunday I will try to upload a new video, basically going over the movies that I've seen over the last week. Now, usually I watch somewhere between 3 to 7 movies a week, just depending on the week. And generally, I only review one movie maybe every couple of weeks, or at least I have in the past. And so the reviews are kind of sporadic in that kind of a way, and you don't really get a feeling of how I thought or what I thought of the vast majority of the movies that I've seen. And I thought that in doing more of in doing something like a movie vlog, focusing on all the movies that I watched, it could give you a very brief overview of my views and my opinions on all the movies that I've seen. So hopefully you enjoy it. This is going to be the first episode, and so I'll just start talking about the movies that I've seen this week. Okay, so the first one that I saw was Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, and I really liked this movie a lot, actually, and I wasn't really expecting to like it, at least not this much. I knew that it was at least going to be passable due to the positive reviews that it received on Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, and so forth, but it was significantly better than I thought it was going to be. Action-packed, a lot of really, really phenomenal scenes. Tom Cruise was even tolerable, and um, he was actually funny in quite a few of the scenes. Now, I generally like Tom Cruise. I'm one of those people, but this was definitely one of the better Cruise moments as of late. Obviously, he's had a lot of good ones in the past. But I would definitely recommend you check this out. The plot line was sort of lacking, but it was certainly focused on the action portion, or the action, I guess, part of the film, and it definitely succeeded in that respect. So if that's what you're looking for, then definitely check this out. I probably would give this like a 4 out of 5, I would say. So definitely recommended. The next one that I watched was Dead Man on Campus. Now, this was a movie that I have seen many times in the past, and in fact, this week consists of a lot of movies that I'm rewatching. But this one, I think it was made in '97 or something like that, and I really like this movie a lot. Now, it could be that again, because it's an slightly older movie in the '90s, that it has a nostalgic feeling, that it gives me a nostalgic feeling, and therefore I feel naturally inclined to enjoy it more than someone else might. But I think that it's relatively decent. Of course, it has, I forget his name now, but it's Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. He stars in it, and a few other people as well. Um, oh, I forget the one guy's name. Jason Segel? I feel like that's not the right name, but he's the comedy gentleman. Anyway, this was one of the first movies that he played in, and I completely forgot that he was in this, but he was actually really funny in this movie. um, so I actually would recommend checking this out. I probably would give it a 3.5 out of 5. But if you like comedies, particularly if you like college-based comedies, where you've got, again, people partying in college and then hilarity ensues and so forth, then definitely check this one out. I think that it's worth watching. The next one that I watched was another movie that I rewatched again. It's The Beach, and this one I've seen several times as well. This is the Danny Boyle movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, and um, he's the only guy that I really remember from the movie. But I had always liked this movie when I have seen it in the past, and I always thought that it was actually very underrated and one of Boyle's better movies. Actually, I'm not a big fan of his recent work, particularly with Slumdog Millionaire and a few others, but uh, when I watched it this time around, and it's been a few years since I've seen it, but this time I don't think that I liked it quite as much as I remember actually liking it. Now, the first half of the movie is, I think, really good, but I definitely think that as it goes on, particularly during the last third and especially the last fourth, it really starts to go downhill, and it just kind of gets absurd, and I wasn't a big fan of the way that it ended, and I disliked the ending and the end part of it more than what I remember. So I still definitely recommend it. I think that I would give it 3.5, 3.5 stars. But if you're a fan of Danny Boyle, then definitely, obviously, you have to check this out. But beyond that, I still can say that it earns my recommendation. The last one that I watched just recently, I think last night actually, was Mother's Day, and this is the remake. It's not the original '80s Troma version. This movie was okay. Now, it really, in terms of it being a remake, it really wasn't anything remotely similar to the original film. So if that's what you're expecting going into this, then don't expect that. And if that's the reason that you're watching it, then don't watch it because it's nothing like the original film. But overall, I really felt that it played out more like a crime thriller as opposed to a horror movie. Now, it did have some horror elements to it, obviously, and it kind of took a Saw route in terms of wanting to shock the audience with kind of with really, I don't know, gritty shots and kind of these scenes of I don't know, immense violence and depravity and so forth. And there obviously are attempted rape scenes and things like that, which are kind of standard fare in the torture genre as of late. But really, it for the most part played out like a crime film, a crime thriller. Um, and so I wasn't expecting that, but it kind of meshed well with, I think, with overall what they were going for. So I would say that I don't recommend it for those wanting to see something that's similar to the original. But if you're a fan of the Saw series, if you're a fan of kind of the admixture of horror and crime and thriller, then check it out. I think it was well done, but I can't really say that I recommend it overall. So that's pretty much all I watched this week, but hopefully you enjoyed this. If you have more suggestions or if you don't like this, let me know, and I'll come at you in another week with another vlog showcasing the movies that I watched. So thanks for watching.